no one disagrees with these things, and the only way that they have any constituency is because they push dependency. And if we can get people to see that, then oh my goodness, we can save this country.
It'll be a paradigm shift. Sonnie, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us on the Afternoon Constitutional.
I appreciate it so much, and anytime you want me on, I'm more than welcome. Thank you.
Now I have your cell phone number, so now you watch out for me, okay?
All right, I'll be listening in for you.
All right, thanks so much, Sonnie Johnson from the Frederick Douglass Foundation on the Afternoon Constitutional, and it's so inspiring to see people that you see this modern characterization of groups of people who are just you think are sold into reparative policies and things like that, actually starting to get it. Mm-hmm. Actually starting to see it. 434-964-1075. Before we head to break, hi, who's this?
This is Greg. I'd like to see Sonnie run for office. Is there any way we could get her lined up somewhere?
We need Sonnie out on the street. If she's in office, she's not nearly as powerful as she is on the street.
Well, I just had a conversation very quickly with a guy in a coffee house this morning who says, "What are you going to do with people that can't take care of themselves?" I said, "Well, if you create a world of dependence, then we're all going to fail." And I said, there are some people, yes, that will need some help, but for the most part, if you're able-minded, able-bodied, you need to take care of yourself, and this socialization of being dependent on a nanny state does not work for anybody.
Absolutely, Greg. Thank you, sir. Talk to you later on the Afternoon Constitutional on the Your Ad Here Radio Network, 964-1075. Welcome back to the Afternoon Constitutional, 434-964-1075 for conversation. We'll get to all your calls. And good afternoon. You're on the air with Joe and Chris. Who's this?
Good afternoon. My name is Bob. I just really enjoyed listening to Sonnie. That was one of the most refreshing calls I think I've heard in a while.
Well, thank you. She's great.
She has a lot of passion. She speaks, so well, and I don't know if there's like a political action committee she can be.
Well, the Frederick Douglass Foundation
around her or something. But
you wanted to. And here's the truth. He was on when we were just a web show. Timothy Johnson, who is actually the vice chair of the North Carolina Republican Party, but he's the founder of the Frederick Douglass Foundation. This guy, I'm telling you, he runs rings around her. I mean, you want to actually build a ladder to the moon after you talk to Tim Johnson. So it's just.
Well, I was just thinking, whoever is going to be the nominee for the Republicans for the Senate race, that would be great to somehow work her into that campaign, because that's a community that the Republican Party needs to show that they have some solutions to, and unfortunately that message hasn't.
Yep.
Gone through there too well in the past.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Somebody like her speak like she does,
and
she really gets the point across to her, to the black community, and she's great.
Sonnie and her group actually came up here to Charlottesville 2 or 3 times during the congressional race, campaigning for Congressman Hurt, and went door to door in some neighborhoods in the city of Charlottesville that have never gotten politicians coming to their doors.
I mean, I would love if somehow some events could be planned around her that people, throughout Virginia, but especially Albemarle County, that we could come and be supportive of that.
Well, and one of the most refreshing, I didn't know this, but when she said that she's really working hard towards the 2011 elections, the General Assembly, the State Senate, and, hopefully a lot of the local races, because, the black community, it always struck me as curious, because so much of the black community is built around faith, the church, the family, strong, especially matriarchal families, and yet they always seem to go marching with the left, which is
right. Their values are so much really in line with conservatism, but
they're just told that that's who you're supposed to vote for. She'll be here. She'll hear. And thank you for the call, Bob. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And thanks for listening. More importantly than even that, it is the Afternoon Constitutional. And Tim was on with us for about 20 minutes one day, and it's just, he shakes up a room too.
I don't think I was here that day.
Yeah, it was back when we were just a web show.
Yeah, I think that was the day that I was gone.
Oh, was it?
I've never talked to him.
Oh, you know what? I called him because you were gone, and I needed people to talk to.
There you go.
Because after spending all morning, monologuing, I need to actually have conversation in there. Coming up, this is, I don't think we have time for it right here, but cell phones. There's a report, $3.7 billion. There's a group that's trying to tell you that $3.7 billion in income could be generated by giving everyone who's poor a cell phone.
Yeah, I have a real hard time believing that.
Of course, that's, $3.7 billion worth of your tax dollars, and the revenue is for somebody else. But, I don't know. I'm curious to see how the math plays out in this.
I think it may wind up just being a wealth transfer.
Really?
And a free phone.
And a free phone. But no, the premise is in this that if you give everybody a free phone, what is it? If you give everybody a free phone, they'll call for the day. If you teach everybody to free phone, they'll phone for lives.
Stretching that one.
I'm sorry.
I think it's if you give everybody a free cell phone, they'll somehow miraculously get a job.
There were moments where, before I was cellularly connected, I would sit there and say, maybe cell phones really do make some sense. But not a whole lot of times. There were, usually when my car broke down, that was about the closest I ever came to saying, gosh, I wish I had a cell phone.
So I like mine, but I can live without it if I had to. It wouldn't stop me from getting a job.
Yeah, I know where to find other telephones.
And it doesn't make me money to have it. As a matter of fact, it costs me money to have it.
As a matter of fact, you probably would get more exercise. Maybe we can tap this into the Play 60, get more exercise, fight childhood obesity.
Huh?
No more cell phones, so you have to walk places to get stuff. You can't just call and order ahead.
But then you'd have people walking less when they're talking on the phone because they'd be tied to the cord.
Yeah, but when I'm tied to the cord, I get fidgety.